and that kind of leads me into my second and last point, is that very few online shop or online portals have managed to replicate that browsing experience that you get in person, where you can just walk down an aisle and just pick something, not on a whim, but because you remember seeing something else, right?
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to this bonus, this short, whatever you want to call it. This is an impromptu episode. We just finished wrapping up talking about a book. We have a book club every week. Myself, Abdul Mannan, and Faisal Chaudhury, actually. And one of the topics of discussion that came on after was the UX UI of the Signal and what's the other app? Telegram. So, Abdul Mannan, if you want to give them some context on what we were discussing, I think you did a good job of explaining what the issue is.
Yeah. So basically, what we're talking about are these competitions to WhatsApp that people are switching over to. People are trying to decide between one or the other. We brought up the point that, or at least I brought up the point that I said everyone, makes fun of Amazon or like attacks Amazon for its innovation and having become such a super company that, it has taken over the entire online shopping experience enterprise. And I say that people blame them, but at the same time, you have people here that have an opportunity to make a good app that is competition, that serves the role of playing competition with WhatsApp, because people are moving away from it for security reasons, blah, blah, blah. But they can't even get the UX UI right on Signal because it sucks, apparently. That's one of the worst things about Signal. So when we led into that discussion, our guest here, Faisal Chaudhury, had some commentary on Amazon's UX UI. And so that's what we want to get into today. Faisal Chaudhury, what are your thoughts on Amazon's UX UI?
I mean, so for the record, I was just being purposefully antagonistic.
As is normal for Faisal Chaudhury.
Because I know somebody here loves Amazon very dearly.
Not sure who that is.
But I think my first point, I guess, wasn't really related to UX UI, and I forget what that was. What did I say?
The search results.
The fake results. Fake.
The fake reviews. I mean, to me, that is part of the user interface, right?
Yeah. I would say it's part of the user experience.
If you can't trust what's on your screen, then what's the point?
Yeah, let's look at hat or what's the product that you would be searching, Faisal? Let's actually take a look right now.
You want, but Faisal, I have a question while he's doing that. What first brought you to the realization that some of these reviews are actually fake?
I mean, I wouldn't say a significant amount. So it was news articles, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe even just dissatisfaction after buying something that's off-brand. You know what I mean?
You saw a bunch of 5-star reviews and you're like, this is definitely not a 5-star.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So in this case, it's sold by Carhat. You know what I mean? And Carhat is a really great brand. You know what I mean? So that whatever those 4,000 5-star reviews are probably fine. You know what I mean? But if you scroll down and go to that crap, or you know what I mean, like this stuff, or brand names that you've never heard of. I mean, this one only has 2 reviews, so we can't really pull it up and compare it. But
let's see, 17 reviews here.
I'll continue talking. So Faisal then suggested that there was a website that you can check for our audience. If you ever are confused about Amazon reviews, you can go to fakespot.com. This episode is not sponsored by them, but you can go to fakespot.com and put in the URL for the product that you're looking on Amazon, and you get an estimation about how many reviews that website thinks are fake. Did I get that right, Faisal?
Exactly. Yeah. So
they use, but that's okay.
Yeah. So Cheema, if you copied that URL and then go over to the hamburger and
speaking of bad UX UI design,
FakeSpot Analyzer.
You see that?
So they're trying to push everybody towards their extension, but just go to FakeSpot Analyzer. I don't believe in extensions and watch what you shop, and then put it in.
eBay, Amazon, Best Buy. Oh, interesting. Walmart too.
Yeah. So in this case, because it's I guess they've never analyzed it before, this will take probably 30 seconds. But yeah, to me, like if like a huge part of Amazon is, it is this marketplace, right?
Yeah,
So
user
if you-
experience
exactly. So if you can't trust the marketplace, then you're gonna go shop somewhere else.
That's huge.
And I was telling, Chima this earlier, especially with Amazon, they can verify if you actually bought the product.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no reason that they shouldn't do that with all the reviews.
And what was your suggestion for Amazon that Ahmed Cheema will take up to Jeff Bezos right after this meeting?
I mean, they should just buy FakeSpot. You know what I mean? Like, and give, instead of their Amazon rating, they should give these FakeSpot adjusted ratings.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see, like, for this company in specific, they only have a C rating. So for this specific product, yeah, maybe fine. But like for the rest of the products that this company is selling on Amazon, they're kind of sketch.
Wait, why does it say C over there and then A over there?
So that's a company rating, talking about bad UX or UI, sorry. But then this specific product has an A rating.
Yeah.
And then you can see, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so what that means is that this product, the reviews on here are legit.
Exactly, yeah.
But for the company in general, maybe not the most trustworthy.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And for the products which are going to be unreliable, like they'll adjust the rating. So okay, instead of, whatever, this is 3.5 stars, it's closer to like 2.5 stars.
So I really want to dive into this a little bit more, because this is something that I think most people don't think of when they're thinking of user experience. And I think, like, Faisal, you're hitting the nail on the head. I think this is a really important point, that to import reviews. So people that are setting up like drop shipping websites, a lot of those reviews are just fake, right? They just kind of take what's on AliExpress, copy paste it here. It's not people actually using your brand. It's just that product. Someone might have had something similar. They're using it. But what you're not realizing that you're doing is the legitimacy and trust that having legit reviews gives you is something that it's worth more than you can, pay for.
Yeah.
It's priceless.
Which for our audience, if you do have a website with products, it might be a good idea, basically is what we're saying, to have a review section and have authentic review section and comments. Because, Chima, what do we talk about is the definition of branding on this podcast?
Oh, I see what you did there, Abdul Mannan. Hey guys, for the audience that's not like following along on every episode, that's something that for some reason I always ask Abdul Mannan that question. So he flipped the narrative here and he's asking me. But the definition we use is it's the gut feeling that people have for a certain symbol or product or whatever it may be.
Yeah. So what are
reputation?
That gut feeling that people are posting, right? And so if you
can you repeat that?
What are reviews except that they are gut feelings that people have for the product that they just bought? Right? So when you're developing your brand and you think that that comment section is not an element of brand, it definitely is, because it's that gut feeling that people have.
That's a really good point. And so for the audience, what advice do you guys have for them that are setting up their stores? And it's so tempting. It's so tempting because no one's going to buy your stuff if you don't have reviews, right? So let's say I set up a Shopify store. I have everything there. Now I need the key ingredient, which is the reviews, so that people trust it enough. How do I convince people not to put fake reviews on? What's your, like, what should I do? Like, if I don't put on fake reviews, I have to literally go to Abdul Mannan, give him this product, be like, hey, can you review this? Then I go to Faisal, hey, check this out. Can you write a review? You know what I mean? Like, you literally have to do that one by one. So what advice do you guys have for people in that situation?
I would say put in the work. Either do that, or if you have an automated system where you can follow up with your client, whoever bought the product, in like a week after them using the product, that emails them and say, hey, how did you like this product? We'd love for you to write a review. Kind of like how when you download an app on an app store and it tells you after a while, is like, do you rate this review 5 out? The problem with that, I feel like, is for some reason for me, when I download the app and it asks me to write a review, it always does it in the worst inconvenient time possible. It pops up right on my screen and I'm doing something and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to write a review. But if it's an email that just shows up in my email and I haven't checked my email, I'll be like, oh yeah, you know what? I did buy this product. Let me write a review about it. I think that would be a better approach. So Apple App Store, if you're listening, you should take that suggestion and implement it. I don't know, Faisal, do you have any thoughts?
No, like I agree. My problem is, when I am a good consumer and I rate, they still show those pop-ups.
When you are a consumer and what?
When I am a good consumer and I rate the app, they still show up. Like the pop-ups still show up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even after you've done the rating,
Exactly.
they'll give you like, hey, rate this. And it's just like, bro, I already did this.
Yeah.
That's really interesting discussion and something I haven't really spent a lot of time thinking about. So thank you guys for that. Is there anything else on the UX UI of Amazon that you wanted to hit on?
Actually, Cheema. Oh wait, Faisal, did you?
But just kind of UI in general, like if you just go to the Amazon.com homepage, it's incredibly busy, 15 million buttons, scrolling banner ads flashing at you. And that's just constantly throughout the entire shopping experience until you get to the proceed to checkout. It's just, they're just trying to shove everything in the world at your faces to get you to try to buy one more thing.
Yeah. It's
So-
almost taking the retail experience online. Like, how you have those those chocolates at the end of the line when you're checking out.
Yeah, but it's worse than that. It's worse than that. You know what I mean? Like, how many words are on this page right now?
Yeah, it's actually, one example of it being worse than that is when you add something to your cart and it says people who bought this frequently also bought XYZ together. I'm like, nice try, buddy.
So I think, Abdul Mannan, I think that's actually an example of something that's probably on the business side, something like a smart decision to make.
For sure.
I think what Faisal is touching on is probably like what Faisal you're saying is that, you go a couple lines in, you don't even know what you're looking at anymore. And it's just like,
and you scroll down a significant amount, but like, one of those items still had 4,000 reviews, 9,000 reviews. So these are supposedly legit products, and they're so far down the page. So it's it's kind of this, the marketplace has almost gotten too big, and or they need some better curation when you search for items.
Yeah, a lot of these are just sponsored or Amazon choice or
Exactly. The second thing I would make, the second or the last point I would make, is aside from just how overwhelmingly busy, any page on Amazon is. I mean, even their Prime Video, you know what I mean? Like, Netflix knows how to set up a queue, but if you look at Prime Video, it's still garbage, utter garbage.
So I think the best example of video curation is Hulu. I think Hulu is way better than Netflix, in my opinion. It's cleaner. I love it. I know, Abdul Mannan, you're shaking your head. So what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I think my experience has been pretty bad. I think like switching between Canadian and US accounts. I think something happened to my account where like for some reason I was in US and it was saying that I couldn't access the shows because it thought I was in Canada still, and Canada listing is different than US listing, and so I was just like fed up with it. But good thing I wasn't paying for it because I'm paying for the bundle. But yeah, if I was paying just for Hulu, I would definitely not like it more than Netflix, for example.
Yeah, but Faisal, to your point, I definitely agree with you. It's like, I just don't know what I'm looking for here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that kind of leads me into my second and last point, is that very few online shop or online portals have managed to replicate that browsing experience that you get in person, where you can just walk down an aisle and just pick something, not on a whim, but because you remember seeing something else, right? And Amazon is still garbage, and then, most online portals are still really bad at that. Interesting for me, like I think recipe websites are actually really good at that.
Can you have an example of one?
So it's behind a paywall, but America's Test Kitchen.
Do you have it? Can you show us?
Yeah, I have it. Sure. America's.
So with these recipes, you're saying that you can browse recipes in a more natural way, like through a recipe book, for example.
Yeah, exactly. So I need to learn how to use my computer, share my screen. Okay, don't judge me for all my tabs, guys. Am I sharing the right thing?
I see Mr. Favorites or my favorites.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, those are my favorites. But this is their homepage, and whatever, you go to recipes, And you can, this is just like going down an aisle, right? You know what I mean? In the supermarket over here, and then you can just see like, ooh, like these are their latest recipes. It's very image centric, right? Not word heavy at all. And then you just keep scrolling, and you can say, oh, like, ooh, yeah, I do actually have some fish in the freezer, or oh man, I haven't made fried chicken in a really long time. Like, even though those aren't the specific recipes, like it is very thought provoking, and it is very thoughtful how they've set up their website, at least in my opinion.
So this is very interesting. Obviously, if you have a product-based website for our client, for anyone listening to the podcast, go with image-centric displays.
Yeah. And they have thousands and thousands of recipes, and you know what I mean, and articles and stuff like that. And they still manage to make it seem, like personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, it's not so much text where you're like, oh man, where do I even start? It's like, okay, this looks good, I'm gonna go here.
Exactly.
And I think that's what you want, especially in food and stuff like that. But definitely, I think people that are in even not food, like any product that you're in, if you just kind of give them that feeling first before you hit them with all the specs and long titles and all that stuff, like, hey, this is a picture of the product, looking nice, and then build from there. That's a good point.
And like, they don't even show reviews here. Like, there are reviews for all this stuff, but they don't actually show them until you click on it. And you can see there's comments, and anyways, it's just very thoughtfully designed. And yeah, I mean, I think you're right, Cheema. Anybody who sells a good, should lead with the image and then leave everything else for later.
This is crazy. So you pay for this website, huh? You have a subscription to this.
Yeah, but it's actually like 4 different websites. They have a TV show. They have a
you don't have to justify it to us.
No, I know. It's crazy because basically, almost like a branding deep dive episode, is we're analyzing this company here with the special guest Faisal Chaudhury, who was the user experience representative.
He's the user.
Yeah.
I don't know why I give an elaborate title there, but.
But all right, thank you guys so much for doing this quick bonus, this mini session. A lot of good takeaways for anyone that has an online presence. Definitely, you don't want to make it too complicated, too clustered. And you want to also think about how you can replicate a physical experience and the experience you get walking through aisles as best as you can online. So you definitely want it to be something that you can navigate easily, and also find the products you're looking for easily, and then find things that you may not know you're looking for, which happens when you're actually physically at a store. You know what I mean? Like, you'll be passing by something, you'll be like, oh man, this looks kind of cool. Right. And so that's one thing that I think, Faisal, what you're getting at is that you haven't seen a lot of sites do that well. Right. And so I agree with you. I don't think there's a lot of them out there. So thank you for sharing. Abdul Mannan, any last comments?
No, I love the commentary on the reviews as well. A lot of good insight there. I think a lot of value there as well.
Absolutely. Thanks, Faisal.
Yes,
Any last parting words?
It was, as always, a pleasure, guys.
Read the book, Cheema.
Oh, don't forget to rate and review the podcast.
Oh, dang, that was a missed opportunity. We should. But thanks, Faisal. All right. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next time.